I think about the insidious effects of colonization, and that colonization is something that if you don't get at it, it's not going to go away. It's just going to morph into a form that's more palatable for this generation, right? And I find that sometimes, yes, there might be these spaces that seem to be more inclusive and want to have these conversations, but they still sometimes can be paralyzed by sort of a what do we do, right? And you don't really see, as we say, a lot of those action points. You know what I mean? That can, or sometimes these spaces don't involve, I find, still the communities in which they're trying to serve, right? So those community voices are not really at the table, right? So it's interesting. Sometimes you'll have these conversations and there'll be no community representation at the table that you're talking about, right? So I find that overall, I think that there is, there isn't a general acceptance to have these conversations. I think though that there still is resistance. There's no question, it's there still is that resistance to sort of have these difficult conversations. Change can only happen with difficult conversations. Change is never a comfortable process. And I find that sometimes we need to be committed to the uncomfort of engaging in a process. I can say I'm committed to a process. The question is, am I committed to the intrinsic sort of, I'm not going to feel well in that process. It's going to be uncomfortable. Can I commit to that? Right? It's easy to commit to the tenets of, let's say, fairness. But if it comes to me giving up something I want to give to somebody else to make it fair, that's really the question that we have to think about, right? So engaging in these uncomfortable dialogues. You know what I mean? That really, that's how we get that growth, right? We need to be able to have these conversations, and at times, because of the insidious sort of effects of colonization, systems and structures are not built to take those conversations and have them germinate into action.